Hey guys, welcome to another COVID episode of Tables, Athers and Chairs. Got with me today another guest is former Progress champion, NGW Undisputed champion. It is the show stealer Nathan Cruz. How's it going, man?
It's not too bad considering the circumstances, Joe. This is one of the better days.
What have you been up to during the past 8 or 9 weeks?
So I mean, I'm very lucky that I've got I'm an avid gardener and I've got a gorgeous garden, a nice little koi pond that keeps me busy and taking care of that. And then one of the big projects that I got myself into was launching a YouTube channel inside the toy room, which is just me having more time at home and needing something else for all this creativity that I can usually put into wrestling. I need to find something else to do, and it was literally just before lockdown started, we filmed the initial batch of episodes. And one of my best friends, Andy, is a very talented video editor. Well, me and him have been friends, God, now since 2000, no, earlier than maybe 2000, something around that time. So a long time, like talking 20 years or so. He and I actually used to edit a lot of the old NGW videos together, like way back when. So yeah, it was cool to do a project with my best friend, and that's keeping me occupied whilst in lockdown.
How does somebody that's self-employed like yourself get by in times like these?
I mean, if the government had their way, you just don't. Like I was, I mean, say lucky in some regard, but not really that lucky. We were supposed to get married this year. My fiance and I was getting married in Jamaica in July. Due to like not being able to send over the paperwork and stuff, that can no longer legally go ahead. So we had some money saved. So that, it's one of them things that it's like, okay, well, at least we've got this to keep us surviving. And my missus also, she's a teacher, so we've got some money coming in because she's a key worker. But yeah, between savings, a last payment that I got with NGW, which was gracious enough to give me at the time that I actually wasn't under contract with them anymore. So yeah, I've had a few things that have helped me get by with that. But other than that, that's, subscribe to my YouTube channel, please.
When did you start professional wrestling then? How long have you been doing this for?
So this is my 14th year. Started in 2006, so I was 15, almost 16. Started training early on that same year. Looking back, I wasn't ready, and I was getting trained by an absolute fool, which I didn't know at the time. Like, we were so naive. We'd wanted to be professional wrestlers for as long as we'd been growing up, and there was a group of us, Matt Myers being the guy that always comes to mind, and Andy actually at that point, previously mentioned. We just got our hands on this wrestling school and it was like, right, that's it, we start. And so kind of got rushed in when we shouldn't have been. And yeah, it was just, that was it. But I had some, even despite getting trained in a bad place, I had something that helped me keep going, and that caught attention of a few promoters in the Yorkshire region, and then my name got about, and then Ligero took me under his wing in, say, 2000, back end of 07, early 08, and that helped me to no end. So at that point, I'm just going through college, and I'm starting to get about not just in the Yorkshire region but across the country now, and that just helped. And then as soon as I left college, I had a shoot job for 3 months, but then I had a match for All Star Wrestling, and then Brian Dixon took me on full time, 19 years old, and then that was it. Bye bye shoot job, and hello life of a professional wrestler ever since. I used to go and watch All Star Wrestling at Hull City Hall, and I remember getting the program, and on the back it had like a list of dates. And I remember saying to Matty at the time, like, who's ever to become wrestlers in this country, this is where we need to be, because look at all these dates that they've got. And I just love that. That appealed to me as well, that life of being on the road and always going from like town to town to town, and like for free, you will get to see the world, even parts of your own country that other people wouldn't even dream of wanting to see. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just get this opportunity to just go, and I love this job. Daniel Bryan always says that was the best learning experience he had in professional wrestling, was working the holiday camps, because it isn't wrestling fans. These are holiday makers. And then the kids, as you mentioned, they're easy to get, but it's not them who are going to part with money at the merchandise table. It's those parents. And I mean, me as a performer, I found my range was working those holiday camps, and I still love going back to them, because as generations change, people become more stubborn and people want to sit like this and instead of engaging in the show. And I always make it my craft to get under the skin. I want the attention of that person. I want them to leave thinking this was all a hoax. Do you know what I mean? I want them to be convinced by what they saw and believe in the emotion that we're trying to get out of them. And I found that's only obtainable, at true practice, by doing those holiday camps, because, like I said, you have the most stubborn of people. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I've worked in front of stubborn crowds, but honest to God, at times, some of those parents, they just do not want to get involved in this, and I will work my ass to the bone to make sure at some point there's some type of reaction from them.
NGW, your home promotion. Obviously, unless you're based in the north, probably a bit of a hidden gem. Again, family friendly, but the crowds that they get, especially at the Hull City Hall, they pack it out. There's always thousands in attendance. What's it like working up
there? Outstanding. I can't say enough good things about them for what they've done for me over the years, and the matches. They're just the life moments I got to. One of those Hull City Hall shows, it was on my 26th birthday, same day I wrestled Doug Williams there. Again, sellout crowd. This is already cool. But then the camera crew was held up in traffic, so it was just getting in as the show was supposed to start. So Rich runs up to me and asks me to just do an impromptu promo in the ring just to G the crowd up while the cameras got set up. With that, so they must have known through social media it was my 26th birthday that day, and the sellout crowd at the Hull City Hall sing happy birthday to me. Just on, like, this was when I was a babyface there, so it made sense as well. But he was just, I remember just thinking, like, this is ridiculous. Like, which point do you ever even picture this happening in life? And NGW enabled that to happen for me. I just think they did a very smart thing when it was cool to go after more of an adult-based audience. They went in the opposite direction and looked at the market was now going to be neglected, and they targeted that, and they did great things. Especially I'd say some of my favorite years with the company was 2014 through to 17, because in that time period there were so many exciting deals that took place for NGW local TV for one thing, which again helped us draw and then go into further parts of Yorkshire. And then, just the Butlins deal, when that came along, all these different things that have happened for them that have helped, I've seen them grow. It's been awesome to be part of it.
Obviously, you're a big babyface in your hometown. Was it unusual for you to play a babyface? Because the most places that I've seen you, you've been a bit of a bastard, to put it mildly.
No, I actually started out working as a babyface, but I just found more success as a heel. But I knew it was a weak area for me, and I knew that the plan at NGW was for me to be out for 8 months and then come back after this big heel run, come back as a babyface. And then that year, this is 2013, I asked Brian Dixon if that summer I could work as a babyface instead of a heel, because I knew it was a weak area, man. I wanted to improve on it. He said, absolutely. So he books me as a heel, as a babyface, sorry, and he puts me on with some of the best heels that I could be on with on the run. Guys from America, John Schuyler, Dash Wilder was, those two in particular, I was pretty much glued to for that summer. We was working together in some capacity. So it was, and then I'm studying people like James and Dean, who I think, James Mason, I think, is the most underrated talent this country's ever had. And then and Dean's right up there with him. And as baby faces, they're just so good to watch and learn from. And I just soaked that up that year. And then by the time I came into NGW, came back in 2014, it was, I had this idea of what Nathan Cruz as a babyface was, and I really enjoyed doing it. Like, I had so much fun. It was cool to show that other side of me. I know that me and Flash Morgan have talked about this, and he says like he's a big fan of me as a babyface, and he wished that more people had seen me do what I was able to do at NGW. But yeah, like it's mainly just been NGW. It's the odd place here and there that's had me as a babyface. But yeah, I mean, I know what I'm good at, and and I enjoy being good at that.
Do you think that there's like a preconception that guys that work on the camps aren't seen as like cool or hip? Because you've got guys like Dean Ormark, who's recently, become an absolute sensation at Schadenfreude and Friends. Really ridiculously talented people like Robbie X, for example, who I'm amazed isn't everywhere. I think the guy's fantastic. People who've just got, that look, that charisma about them, like Adam Maxted. Are you surprised people like that aren't breaking out into more places? And do you think that's purely to do with the preconception that, they're just a camp worker?
I think that does get attached to some people. It depends on how you juggle it, because I mean I had my most success on the independent scenes in like 2012, 2013, and I was still very much running, and to this day, to be honest, I can still do the camps, and I've managed to always balance that. And there is some people that do have that stigma. They're just instantly thinking that, oh, well, they're a camp show worker. It's like, no, like there's a lot more. There's a lot more to being a camp show worker than what you think, but also, like, if you're a good enough performer, you find different variations that what you do for certain audiences. And I picked this up at college when I was studying acting. Was I wasn't going to act the same in a pantomime as I would in a more contemporary play. And this is how I always kind of so my villain persona in that time period that I just mentioned. I knew Nathan Cruz, the bastard that's gonna piss kids off, and maybe make adults kind of chuckle at what he's doing. I knew that heel, and then I knew the Nathan Cruz that could work at a NGW like live show where it's geared at wrestling fans, but it's still families. So I knew that there's a different version of him there. And then there was the one that you would have first been introduced to, Progress. I had these different variations of this character. It's still very much Nathan Cruz at the core, and I know where his motives are coming from. It's just projected differently. And again, I just think that's something that certain people have that preconception that, you're just a holding show worker. I think, some of the best that's ever done this has all gone on to the camps and said that they learned something, you know what I mean, and really enjoyed their time and found it valuable. So I wouldn't take any nose about it.
Yeah. How did you enjoy both the separate periods in Progress?
I enjoyed them equally. Really did, and for different reasons. The first initial run, I mean, when I was first approached with it, was just an inbox from some promotion we've never heard of. Hi, we want to run these shows. How much each? And and it was at a time when you'd have so many wannabe promoters coming through. Do you know what I mean? That it could either be an easy payday or it is. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those things. So we're just like, oh yeah, we've got the show on Sunday in London of all places, and at this time as well, myself, Ligero, and Colossus Kennedy rode it together all the time. So this is why. Okay, so we've got to go to. We're Northerners. We don't really particularly like London. We've got to go to London for this show. Anyway, so we get there, and I think they told me earlier on that week they're putting the title on me, and like, okay, cool. That first night, the difference in the car journey there to the car journey going home, and just knowing that, oh shit, we was a part of something there. This is gonna be really fucking cool. And like it just had this vibe about it. By the time we got to chapter 2, where I had the talk 3 Falls with Marty, which is still one of my favourite matches I've had in my career, there was something so special about Progress to me at that time period. It was venting stuff I had going on in my personal life, or just the fact that it was giving me a different outlet to show this new side of my character, and show people that, you know, like, because like you just mentioned about sometimes getting hidden away on those camps, that like someone like me, someone like Ligero can work, and it just, yeah, I loved progress at that time period. I really did. Like, I couldn't say enough good things about it. I was one of the first people probably coming back saying to Jim, like, how can you just do these all the time? Why can't we have more? Like, I wanted 3 or 4 shows a week with these guys. I loved it. Yeah, I really did. That first run was very special to me.
You went away for a while. Is there any reasoning behind that?
It was kind of a miscommunication thing. Story I've told in the past. Like, it's ironic that I look at it now and the situation that's like now in progress. But yeah, I had a tryout for the WWE in 2014, and it clashed with a weekend where they had a show at the Ballroom. And originally I said, yeah, okay, I don't think I can do this. And then me and Jim went back and forth, and there was a suggestion of why don't I try and make the show as well. And me being an idiot and thinking, yeah, I can show, it would be like that thing of just let me try it and then go do a show. Just some stupid story. I decided to try and do that. Fast realizing when I was at the arena that this is not going to happen. Time's not going to allow it, so I had to pull out, and I left them in the shit kind of last minute. To which then Shah got replaced, and that kind of went forward from there. And there was a bit of tension between us because there was faults on both parties, if you ask me, especially me looking back now. But I think it became a bad situation. It was a shame because I really did, think at that time in particular, Jim, Glenn, John, I had a good relationship with them, and I liked those guys a lot. So yeah, it was kind of shitty at the time, but to see that we soon built that bridge back as soon as we did, and the return that they gave me, I don't know, they just awarded an opportunity, I guess, and I thought it was a hell of an opportunity. It suited me down to the ground. Like, Glenn explained this to me, what he wanted out of the angle, why I was coming back in, and I just thought it was a brilliant idea. Like, I latched to it. I've grown my hair long now, just because I was growing it just before lockdown, actually. But yeah, at the time when I first heard about the angle, I had short hair, and I knew that I was coming back with the mask thing, and I really didn't want people to know this was going to be. So, like, I think I knew about a month in advance. That's why I started growing my hair. So it was a bit longer by the time I did the reveal, just again to keep people guessing. But yeah, that I thought that was I loved Origin, everything that came from Origin, and one of the best times of my career, without a doubt, because it's fourth friends. Like, we all got along, we'd all work together. I mentioned some of my favourite matches. There's a 15-minute time limit draw Zach Gibson and I had for NGW, 2015. I just love that match. Like, I always look back on it as one of my favourites that I've had. Ligero wrestled and been all over the road with. I mean, we've wrestled each other over 240 times or something like that. It's ridiculous. And yeah, spent so much time with him on the road. He's helped me so much. And Dave, again, somebody, when we'd spend time together on the camps, I could just click. And we all had a similar mindset to wrestling, a similar approach. Just, it was so much fun. It was just us turning, like, negative sides of our personality just right to the top, and then expressing some real frustration. It was just enjoyable, and it really was. It was so enjoyable.
How did the end of Progress run come about?
So I don't know. I'm speculating. I've said this before. This is 100% speculation on my behalf, that I think some things were starting to trickle down from WWE at that point about myself, like, and what happened with my medical there, and just all of a sudden seemed that there was going kind of cold on me. I'd just done this Cole running with the Origin. He had this idea with me with the match with Spud to progress my character to the next incarnation that I was going with the Professional, and see where I was going as a singles wrestler. At least that's kind of how it was explained to me. And then all of a sudden it was, oh, you're not going to Florida anymore. Well, you told me I was originally one of the guys going. Am I going to be going to the show in Germany? No. Is a chance that I'll be at Ali Pali? No. And I was like, what's going on here? And like, I don't know, like everything that I kind of said on my way out, like I contacted the guys and I said like, this is kind of where I'm at now. Like I feel a bit frustrated with this. I don't want this to become an issue between us again, like it has done before. Like I'm in a good position with NGW that I think it's maybe best that I just walk away now, and we end on good terms. And they all understood. And Glenn even asked me to that promo that I recorded. He just said I just wanted to shoot, and just told me to say it from the heart. And when we finished, he just hugged me, and we both kind of welled up. And it was upsetting. I didn't want to at that time. I really didn't want to go. I was just kind of felt I was kind of getting pushed out. And again, that's just how I felt. That's exactly what's happened. It was at a point where wrestling had pushed me. Like I was in a bad place with my mental health, and I wasn't willing to admit that I was. Like everything that had happened with me getting the contract and then that going away from me really messed me up. And I'd come back from shows at night, and I just couldn't get to sleep. Couldn't go to sleep because it was just on my mind. So I'd sit downstairs with tramadol and alcohol, and that was what I'd do on an evening to help me get to sleep because that's all I could do. And then another thing, if I didn't do that, I'd have frustrations coming from, why is this happening to me at Progress? Like, why are there? You know what I mean? Like that'd be in my mind. Like, why was I going to Florida and now I'm not? Like, why are they going? And I just felt like this is bad for me at a time that I know I'm in a bad place. Probably the right decision to just get out whilst I can, focus on what was keeping me happy, which was the work I had with NGW at the time was really good for me. And then when I finally overcame that spat of depression and stuff like that, it was I just look at it. I did the right thing for my mental health. I got the contract offer for the first UK tournament in 2016. Was contacted by William Regal about it. Couldn't wait to do it. That same year, I wrestled for them at Full Sail University, NXT, and I think I'd done a pretty good impression on them. So go to London for the medical and what they call the car wash, where they do all your stills, your pictures, and all this. So I've done my promo, I've done photo stills, doing a medical. Lean in and tell me, okay, your blood pressure's reading high. Need to do this again. Test it a few more times. Just couldn't get it under. But it was, I had no idea I had high blood pressure. I went and got it sorted out. Like literally the following day, I went to my doctor's and I read it was slightly elevated, but it wasn't high. It was 134. It was where the WE medical it had been 162, I think. So it was saying it's probably just an anxiety thing. I had to go back and forth, ended up paying for my own specialist to eventually kind of get this treatment that WWE wanted me to get, which was called an Alpro. At that point, they had to take away my contract and just give me a one-off payment to be at Blackpool, which I was there, and that's when I did get cleared for Sunday to do a dart match because the medication I've been on had been working basically. And and after that, it was just quiet from them. So I kind of felt like at that point, I'd just been tunnel visioned on WWE my entire life since I was 10. Got to get there, and I had that in my hands. Do you know what I mean? Had that contract. I'd signed my half. I just needed them to sign theirs, and it had gone. And I couldn't. The idea of that really pushing me for a long time.
How was the World of Sport experience?
Well, that was kind of what got me through the depression. I had a bad run-in when I was at Full Sail with somebody else there, which I won't get into, but something that made me think, why do I really want to work there? If that's how people get trapped. And then And then I was kind of in limbo with stuff. Lucas Steele came to the NGW Academy, came back to the academy, and I just saw the potential in him to be able to help him on his way. So I started as a trainer, really helping him out, and then so that was keeping me creatively giving something back at least. And then I got the opportunity with WOS to come in, and I was like, hey, now I can really, I've got something that's going to be on a national platform to sink my teeth into. And for the filming of it, I loved it. I was so proud of everybody. I thought the performance that we gave was so well done. It was well classed on any card. I thought it was brilliant. I enjoyed so many little things that happened on that show, and then it got edited, and that was it. That. I mean, I never forget the first episode. I watched it, and I'm so anal about making sure the legal man is in the ring in a tag match, and making sure that just little things like that. I put that this was very much in our match, but then the way they'd edited it was so that there was a bit that basically looked like I just ran into the ring illegally, and I'm sat there, it wound me up, and that was just minute. That's the detail stuff. That's not to mention all the fast cuts and stuff like that just the general public was finding annoying. It wasn't edited by people who knew wrestling.
Yeah.
Our team did offer, Alex had offered to help with it, and they just, we're ITV. Yeah, well, you butchered it. Well done.
Yeah, the editing was like Kevin Dunn on speed.
It was such a shame to see that's what happened. And I mean, especially by the time we get to something like the ladder match that Adam and I had, because I remember being so proud of that match because of not just the admiration that we got from the people on the set or the crew in the back, but from our peers. We came back from that match and they were buzzing about it, saying that that match is going to steal a series, which was a pretty big statement looking at that card and some of the matches that got put on that. But and then so by the time that had gone to the editing stage and being on TV, our audience had gone down, and it was just such a shame. It really was. I'd like to see it revived and just be allow the right people behind the driving seat here and just trust us. I'd love to see that happen because I know some of the cast has obviously gone on to better things. For that time as well, though, that cast that we had, that group, I thought was fantastic. I really enjoyed working with them all.
The only two companies that appear to be carrying on regardless are WWE and AEW. What's your opinion on those two companies carrying on? Do you think they're a little bit tone deaf, or do you think there's sponsorships and TV deals to adhere to that they're legally worried about breaking?
I mean, again, it'd be complete speculation. I think, it might be something to do with TV deals and sponsorships in that regard, more than likely. But I felt that given the circumstances that they are being told to continue, both have handled it very, very well. And it's so weird to watch because our show is audience participation. Again, it's a show. So without an audience having that participation is very much so difficult to try and create entertainment. And I just think that both sides have done very good job at giving us that. Whether they've been told to continue or not, I don't know.
Vince McMahon laying off loads of people during a global pandemic.
Well, that's just shit. I mean, the amount of money that company's worth. I mean, something that wasn't reported, I don't think it's been that well known, is that those guys are still getting 90 days from that. But I mean, when can these guys go back to work?
Exactly.
I mean? That's the thing. So at a time, like I say, when there's this going on and they can't actively really search for work really outside of one other company, I think it's a very shitty move to do to people's families, work a company that's, you know, the same. Was it the same week they was telling people how much they were worth, which was like 0.5 billion. Same week, you're reporting that, and you're laying off all these people to keep investors happy. That's fucking off.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think we'll see any wrestling in the UK with crowds until 2021. So, I mean,
I'd agree with you. Yeah, I can see them doing maybe like the YouTube shows if they can get like just crew there. But yeah, I can't see live attendance shows going ahead till next year.
Before you go, is there anything that you want to plug apart from your YouTube channel, obviously?
Well, yeah, that will be it. Just at the minute, that's one thing that I'm really able to do. So yeah, just check it out if you're into toy collecting. Even if you're not, like I've had a few people say that they've just enjoyed the show just because of how it's pieced together. But yeah, that's Inside the Toy Room on YouTube. Other than that, you can get merchandise on my Big Cartel store, which is nathancruz.bigcartel.com. But yeah, follow me on Instagram and all that stuff. Like I'm still doing stuff on there at least. But yeah, that's it. There's nothing else really for me to plug at the moment. Catch me on this upcoming show next year.
Well, hopefully if it is next year, it's more January, February than towards the end of next year. Nathan, great to catch up with you. Always a pleasure, mate. And look after yourself. And hopefully see you in a few months.
Hopefully so, mate. Take care.